he was impressed that he was talking to a leader of the KLA.
And you said, according to your statement to the defense, that you were having this, or Mr. Thaçin was having this telephone conversation with President Clinton in a makeshift location, a tent in the mud in Pristina, it is said here, and the communication systems were not good. But Mr. Thaçin was saying all the right things, and that President Clinton, you said, was really impressed by Mr. Thaçin. And Mr. Thaçin was talking about respecting minorities while his own people had been mistreated for years. This is contained in paragraph 70 of your statement. I would like to know from you now, what do you mean by all the right things? Is this a reference to democracy and respecting minority and minorities' rights?
Yes, it is. I recall after, so again, 20 years later, I'm remembering the time, and I remember hearing through Sandy Berger, who is President Clinton's national security advisor, that since I didn't speak directly to President Clinton, that he was impressed that he was talking to a leader of the KLA in a wartime environment whose people had just suffered terrible killings and murder. He made a point of saying, without prompting, I think, to President Clinton, the message that we wanted him to send to the world. And when you say something to the President of the United States, that's a pretty important thing to do. And so President Clinton, I remember, told Sandy Berger that he was impressed by that, and that being minimizing retributive violence, not responding to the damage done to the people of Kosovo with retaliatory abilities now that the Serb forces had left or were leaving Kosovo, and NATO was going to take over. And such retributive violence could take place. And so President Clinton was impressed, passed that on to Mr. Berger, who I recall told me about it.
Or after this telephone call with President Clinton tell you that there were in fact problems with respecting minorities' rights in Kosovo in June 1999 or before?
Right. He wouldn't bring it up. We would bring it up. He would acknowledge that this was a difficult time for the people of Kosovo. He wouldn't dispute that there was a risk of such violence. And then he would offer to try to minimize it through his public statements. And by saying this to President Clinton, and me repeating what he said to President Clinton, I think I did later that day or the next day, I was trying to make sure to hold him to his commitment to President Clinton.